Hey Aquarius, welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and today I'll be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, and abundance reading for the month of April 2025. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month. And I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I am using my Morgan Greer Tarot deck. I'll clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and then I will close out your reading, Aquarius, with a Threads of Fate Oracle card. All right, so, all right, Aquarius, what is going on? What is going on? All right, because there's some opportunities coming your way, but I do not believe that you are seeing them as such, or you're just not prepared to take advantage of them. Now, because we're doing this reading, this kind of is giving you a heads up to maybe be a little bit more open-minded, maybe a little bit more flexible as it relates to your money, because you do have some opportunities headed your way. All right. And I do think too, especially with this Page of Pentacles, this is an opportunity to make money. It may not be like a long-term like stream of income. It might be like a one-off, but I'm telling you, it's still an opportunity to make money. So it's like we still want to consider the idea. All right, so as we move into the month of April, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Knight of Cups. Okay, so right here, this is telling me that you are really focused on your money. And sometimes we can have tunnel vision. And that's why I said you may want to be a little bit more flexible, because opportunities are definitely coming your way. All right. So you may have a little bit of tunnel vision. Not that that's bad, but if you really want to make money in every way you potentially or possibly can, you may have to expand your focus just a little bit. Now, that may not make sense for you. Maybe you can only do what you're doing now. All right, but understand that that's not all there is, especially when it concerns money. Now, we've got the Seven of Swords. This is probably my least favorite card in the tarot deck. I've talked about that before, because it means that there's someone around you who is kind of, I mean, I don't want to say dishonest, but maybe they're not exactly as genuine as you think they are. And the way that this can disrupt your money situation is that it could be very distracting, or it could be somebody literally stealing from you, or it could just be somebody who is misusing or abusing your trust in some way. So you have to be very careful. Although I do believe that if that is the case, you will be made aware of it in that first week of April. All right. And then you'll be able to deal with the person or the situation right away before it actually ends up costing you anything, which is really good. So trust your gut instincts. That's what the High Priestess is telling us. You know, if something feels off or you can't quite explain something, trust that. All right. Trust your gut, because it's definitely communicating something to you. All right, Aquarius, let's see what else. All right, so I'm getting, again, yep, surprise, surprise, money opportunities are coming your way. And this is the thing. What I'm getting is, Aquarius, you said no to something. It's showing up again, and now you can say yes to it. That's what I'm picking up with these cards here. There was something you said no to because you were like, oh, it's not the right timing, not interested, whatever the case may be, or whatever the case was. And it's coming back, because we got this Seven of Cups here. It's coming back, and now you're in a position to say yes. All right. We also got this Six of Pentacles here. All right. So here's the thing. Like I said, this is a surprise money opportunity coming your way, or a surprise money opportunity reappearing because you weren't able to see it for what it was the first time it showed up. All right, that happens roughly in this second week of April. Now, the other thing is I feel like you're in a much better position to take action as well. So maybe if you did say yes to this opportunity, you know, before, it may not have been the right timing. Maybe you weren't equipped to deal with it, but now you are in a position to handle it and to make it totally worth your while, Aquarius. All right, so be open-minded because like I said, you've got surprise money opportunities. And I feel like this is something that is being revisited from your past. All right, so that's kind of exciting, Aquarius, like really. You know, I like surprises. Well, I only like good surprises, but you know what I mean? Like that's definitely something to, I don't know, to be, you know, to be open to. I guess that's a good way to say it. All right, Aquarius, let's see what else is showing up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of April. What is going on, Aquarius? Look at this. You're worried about something? You're not happy about something? All right, so Aquarius, once we hit the second half of April, it looks like you're going through something personally and it's impacting you professionally, financially, and so on, right? Could be something going on in your personal life, maybe something in a relationship, maybe a friendship, maybe in your family, but it looks like that's going to impact your money in some way, right? Either maybe you have to pay something, maybe you have to bail somebody out in some way. But I do sense that, like there's something going on that's going to disrupt you financially. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to be wiped out and be living on the street, not at all. But it's like something where you're like, oh my gosh, this is emotionally hard to deal with, financially hard to deal with, and maybe just even professionally hard to deal with. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get through it, but it does mean that if you do feel a little bit of disruption, understand that you're going to overcome it. All right. I guess I can say that these are kind of a heads up cards. So we have the Six of Swords, which means travel could be involved. The Hermit card. You don't want to isolate yourself. Then we have the Knight of Swords, which means that actually through all of this, in a weird way, you create a stronger sense of financial stability. You know, sometimes that happens when we have a crisis or some type of chaotic situation. It teaches us to really set ourselves up in a much more stable position. So if we ever do deal with something like this ever again, we're going to be prepared. Maybe we'll even be over prepared. And that's what I see happening here. All right, Aquarius. So think about that. Because even though you have opportunities coming this month, I'm going to say that this is an opportunity as well to be even more secure than you already are, if that's even possible for some of you. I know Aquariuses are pretty smart when it comes to finances and their money. At least all the ones I know are. All right, so let's see what else shows up for Aquarius. Yeah, you definitely overcome. I mean, it's hard, but when all is said and done, new opportunities are created as a result of this, Aquarius. So you're still winning. All right, you're still winning. You're still winning. You know, it may not feel like you are, but you are, because you're in a position to say no to something. Also, the Strength card means that you're giving it all that you got, right? And you understand that it's going to take a lot out of you, but you know that you can overcome. You totally can overcome, and you do. All right, people actually are willing to help and step up. People admire you. People are willing to support you. Then we've got this Death card. Now, the Death card is a card that talks about transformation, which means that despite what you're going through, you're going to transform, transcend, and you're going to be better off because of it. Now, remember, I've talked about this before. This is something that I've recently learned and come to grips with myself, is that when we are working towards a goal, when we are trying to do something, things will happen good and quote unquote bad in order to get us exactly what we want. So sometimes there will be situations that are very difficult, challenging, whatever, but understand that sometimes that's exactly what needs to happen in order for us to get what we want. And when we can look at things from that perspective, it really makes all the difference. All right, Aquarius. So like I said, opportunities are coming your way, and you're going to totally like deal with whatever you need to deal with without hesitation and without feeling like you are suffering in any way, because you're truly not. But this is a period of growth, financial and in other areas of your life as well. All right, so let's go ahead and close out your reading, Aquarius, with a Threads of Fate Oracle card. You got the card Versatility. Versatility. Now, versatility, that means, having multiple ways we can look at something. And I do believe that is kind of the running theme here with your reading for this month. So think about that. Think about that, Aquarius. Versatility. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. I'll check in with you again next month.